How are you guys doing today? My name is Anima, and today we have a post-commentated Pokemon X and Y. Wi-Fi battle finally managed to kick the weird accent. For you all today, post-commentated against the WonderDoc, the lovely, the amazing. He is very sweet. He challenged me over Twitter to a monocolor battle. So this is what is here, folks. I'm using black, he is using green. I'm including shinies, he just, and he's clearly way more on point with me because his Pokemon are actually just green. So I know you see the Charizard and it's orange, and I know you see Gardevoir and it's white, but if you quit being so racist for 5 minutes, I'm kidding. They're like black and Bell anyway. Because shiny Charizard and shiny Mega Gardevoir. So that's the thing that's occurring, and Zrock, who I don't know how to use, it appeared as something I didn't realise it was going to appear at one point, and I was like, I wasn't ready for this, but it was fine anyway. So let's hit Batteru Starto! And I would like you guys to sit back and enjoy the show. We have FaceCam today. Hi. How you guys doing? So I decided to leave with Midna, who was a gift from the lovely Vincent. Thank you so much. She is beautiful. I truly love Gardevoir. If you want to get on my good side, give me a Gardevoir. Also, excellent choice of nickname because Midna is a beast. Twilight Princess is one of my favourite Zelda games ever. Honestly, I don't think it's like everybody's favorite, to be honest with you, but I don't know, I really like it because you can like become a wolf and shit. I just love it. It's so good, it's so good. So he leads with the Tornadus and goes to the U-turn. I know jack shit about Tornadus. I really don't know anything about Tornadus. And this battle's kind of funny, by the way. It's not like hardcore, really serious. It's just like a monocolor, so it's not like competitive battling at its absolute finest, so just take it with a pinch of salt. I do decide to go for Florges as he switches out into... I do decide to go for Psychic as he switches out into Florges, which is just an excellent switch in to Gardevoir on any given occasion because it's just a specially defensive monster. I go for the Calm Mind here, just thinking, well, you know what, he's going to Toxic me. And nobody else wants to deal with Florges across my team. Nobody, absolutely nobody wants to switch into this thing. My Dusknoir doesn't have recovery, my Umbreon will take super effective Moonblasts. It ain't cool, so what I just have to do here is I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna go down kicking and screaming. So yeah, I do get the Toxic, and this is pretty funny because the last battle me and this guy had, this Florges missed like 3 Toxics and got Power Hacks like twice in the middle of it. It's hilarious. But like really bad. I was like screaming like, come on now, this is just ridiculous. So I do decide to go for the Psychic because I don't want to reveal that I have Hyper Voice because I actually have Hyper Voice on my Zrock, and I was hoping for some kind of mind game here, but I just wasn't, it wasn't like ready to be executed. It wasn't fully realized. Maybe I'll get another opportunity to use it. But now you all know that it has Hyper Voice, so it's gonna do a lot of damage, and I was fearing my parent to have like Protect, to have Wish Protect, so I just decided to just keep attacking it in the hopes that he didn't have it, and it turned out after the battle he told me he actually didn't have it, so goes out into the Tornadus, and a U-turn is incoming, but I want to preserve my Gardevoir just in case I can get a powerful Moonblast off on something at some point or another, and I go out into Manus, my Dusknoir, to absorb any physical attack, and Manus takes that like a beast, like an absolute beast! Basically, Manus, if you get that reference, you have great taste in video games, my friend, and we should date. No, we shouldn't date. I'm very taken. Now, I did have this thing. I'm going to use this because it's more pointy. This is actually an Infestation set, Manus. It's the most annoying Dusknoir in the world, but I forgot to put Infestation on it, so I had Mean Look, which is kind of trappy, but it doesn't have the same impact as Infestation, you know what I'm saying? So he goes to the Stealth Rock on my Protect, and this is just bad. That was a very terrible play on my behalf. I do decide just to go for the Woolworth just to get some residual damage on this Cradilly because nobody can really deal with it. Nobody can really deal with it. Charizard kind of can, but now the rocks are there. I should have switched out into Charizard. I don't know what I was thinking. Probably fearing the rock type move, honestly. But now I get Toxicked. And I can't burn stall for shit at this point because I'm Toxicked, and that's very terrible. So Toxic. Toxic is just like, oh, it just destroys me. This is why I'm so crazy about Heal Belt, you see. So he does go into Meloetta, who I didn't even realize is a normal Psychic. I didn't realize that it had the normal typing and then it would change after it Relic Songs to normal fighting. So that's my lack of knowledge there. So I'm sorry about that, my friends. But obviously it's going to be completely immune to my Shadow Sneak and goes for the Shadow Ball. I was fearing the Relic Song turning into the physical, the fighting Meloetta. So I wanted to burn it just in case that happened. So that's what I did. And we're not, I mean, I knew I could take at least one of whatever the hell it wanted to do with me. I did not expect a Shadow Ball because I don't know anything about Meloetta. but looking at its stats, this thing has ferocious special attack and ferocious special defense. It's really good. I think I'm going to have to try and use one because they're pretty damn crazy. So we do manage to land a burn, and we are going to go down to this Dazzling Gleam, and that's like... I would have really liked to have mana surround and burn some more stuff, but I wasn't sure what this thing was capable of, so I just left my Dusknoir in there to kind of just scope it out and see what was going on. So I did decide to go into Brissinger, and I'm really good at playing around with Zorok, obviously. But I thought it's totally moot though, because once the rocks are out, I can't, you know, I can't fool anybody with whatever that is. And I am running Fire Punch over Flare Blitz just to stop recoil being a thing. This is actually a Belly Drum Charizard, but again, because of the rocks, there was no way I could have let it happen. There was no way I could have put that plan into motion, so I did decide just to go for damage. And I go into Thundergo here because I think, I'm just gonna, like, you know, I need to hit it really hard, right? I need to hit it with like a T-Bolt or something. But he just switches out. He's playing me because I'm going for completely obvious things. I wasn't concentrating. I just go for the T-Bolt, and it hits Cradily, who's especially defensive as fuck and doesn't really care, which leads me to think maybe his Forges is physically defensive. I'm not sure. Maybe he has two specially defensive Pokemon. I don't know. Whatever. But I should have gone for the Volt Switch. I am actually locked in. I'm Choice Scarfed. So I should have gone for the Volt Switch, but I didn't think Volt Switch would kill, and I didn't want somebody else to take a chunk of damage from that horrendous creature. So I do decide to go into Minna just to fodder her off, as much as that pains me to say, as much as that very sentence pains me to say, because I love Midna. I really do. I get hit right in the Kokoro in the feels when I see that. That's just so sad, isn't it? I'm just gonna ban that image, honestly. I think that's terrible. So the Cradily is out here with its penises, and it's waggling them around in a slightly hypnotic motion, just sort of nice and easy, nice and relaxed as one can be when you have 8 penises. Okay, so this is actually my Zork. I didn't realize it would come out dressed as an Umbreon, but whatever. It's not really in a very effective disguise, honestly. But I went for the U-turn just to get some damage off, and I was kind of fearing this thing having Recover, but I was like, whatever. Went out into Blue Moon to absorb Toxic or whatever, just because I know Zorok can't really do much to it. If Zorok got Toxic, it would just be a matter of the Breloom coming in and punching me in the face. So I thought, yeah, no, that doesn't really sound very nice. And Blue Moon does take the Toxic, who is another gift from Vincent. So thank you very much, Vincent. You have excellent taste in Pokemon. I mean, Umbreon is really cool. I don't like it so much. Like, its role in battle is like it's quite a stally Pokemon. But this thing is just so cool. I love it. I love it so much. I think it's absolutely wicked. So, yeah, we're gonna go for curses here. This set is wicked. It's so wicked. It just lives. Okay, it just lives eternal. It's just like an Umbreon, and like I've never used an Umbreon, so the power in my hands was just like, what? This is just weird. So I went for the curse. My plan here was to get enough curses to the point that that Mark Punches wouldn't kill me, and I could at least do some damage to the Breloom, break its potential sash, and put it in range of my Zeb Striker to come in and do some shit, do some Zebra striking, whatever. So right now we're just going to see this rather sort of low-key, relaxed little game between the Cradily and I. As I go for the refresh. Refresh is just great. It removes Umbreon statuses, and honestly it's just absolutely ridiculous when paired with healing and so on, and cursing and so on and so forth. It's just hilarious. Umbreon is just overall a very, very rude Pokemon. I am quite interested in these monocolors, so if you would like to challenge me to a monocolor battle, it's not like hardcore competitive, it's very relaxed. And I've got a high chance of uploading them just because they're really chill and they're just like great. So, right, so this, don't worry about this, this will end very soon. So, thankfully the Cradily is getting whittled down, and I'm just allowing the burn to get to it. I just needed to get to a good point. I just needed to get to a good point where I could start resisting stuff. But the Toxic and everything else is going to start to really, really upset me. Now we are going to speed up this last bit here because it is kind of dragging on a bit. Stall 'em all, gotta stall 'em all. Our stalling will pull us through. You stole me and I stole you. Stall 'em on, gotta stall 'em all, stall 'em on. I have to speed up bits. This causes a gap in the audio, which means I will make up silly songs to sing to you when I can't think of anything to do. Stall is fun! Fun! Okay, let's go back to normal. And at this point, I actually just went for... I was anticipating him to go for the Giga Drain just then, so I did go for the payback. I should have gone for the refresh, but I really wanted to get to a stage where I could be at a high amount of health, and have that. If he'd gone for Giga Drain, it would have just prolonged it. So I thought he could just keep going for Giga Drain at that point. So I really just wanted him to be offed. You know what I mean? And yeah, it would have just been much better. So he goes for the Dazzling Gleam with the Meta Weapon. It's super effective, but Umbreon takes that amazingly well, incredibly well, honestly, really, really well. Because it isn't stab, but it is very powerful. And we are able to KO with a payback, which is very nice. A good retaliation there. And so far, Umbreon has taken down 2 Pokemon just through sheer force of not dying. And out comes Boy George, Karma Chameleon. I missed this reference when in the battle, but it's a really good name for a Kecleon, you know? It's a really good name. So he goes to the Fake Out, which is good for him because it means I am gonna get, you know, stalled out by the Toxic, and it's very, very sad indeed. Blue Moon is going down, the moon is setting, that makes me very sad. I am very attracted to the moon. I really like the moon. It's like one of my favourite things ever. I just really, really like the moon. I've always been enamoured with it ever since I was a kid. So he's going to go for the Power Up Punch, and that's going to take out Umbreon, and bah! That's very, very sad indeed. But it's okay, it's okay. I was like, maybe we can do this. Maybe we can do this. So I go into Grim, who is my my Zoroark, just fresh Zoroark, because wow, I'm really good at illusion. And he's going to go for the Shadow Sneak, and this confused me because maybe he thought I might not go for the Dark type move, but I just went for it, even though he was fighting type at the time. But yeah, I just went for the Night Days, and I'm lucky that he did go for the Shadow Sneak because it does take out Boy George. And honestly, this doesn't mean that much in the long run because out comes Capils, and we're all just gonna get Mach punched in the stomach. Yeah, this Brilliant was what I was fearing basically the whole match. It's my fault for not bringing a team that had Stealth Rocks or Hazards on it, so the Mach Punch is easily going to take out Grim, and my final Pokemon is Thundaga, and I am doomed because I thought, what move should I lock myself into? I know, Overheat. But I wouldn't have been able to take out the Tornadus unless I got a Mega Crit every time, and my Overheat misses anyway, so I haven't landed an Overheat for a very long time. It's really sad. It's so sad. I would really like to land an Overheat, you know? I really truly would. But yes guys, if you enjoyed that kind of playful, silly little game, I really did enjoy that. Thank you very much, WonderDoc, for the battle. It was really cool. Then feel free to leave a like if you are so inclined. Leave a comment if you will. I super appreciate those. Your support has been absolutely wonderful. And answer the QOTD, which I am gonna say is... Let me think. If you could have any one superpower, what would it be? In my case, I think I would... Oh man. I wouldn't want invincibility because I would like to be able to die. As weird as that sounds. I think like... I don't know. I don't know if it's even a superpower, but I'd like the superpower of like sociality, if that makes sense. I know that sounds really it sounds really lame, but basically to be able to talk to anyone and anything, and like to be able to get them on your side type thing. It sounds quite manipulative, but just to be able to put anyone at ease, or to be able to like put anyone, you know, because then you don't need to be able to fight. Like, it'd be cool to have super strength and stuff, but like in terms of like, I mean, I would love to fly as well, though, so there'd be that, and then flying. Invisibility would be awesome, but flying and, like, some kind of strange social power thing would be really cool. The power of Twitter! No, some strange social thing would be really cool, but flying as well would be extremely nice indeed. So, what would be your superpower if you could have any power in the world, in fact? Yeah, so feel free to answer the QOTD if you are so inclined. Leave a like as well, and subscribe if you haven't already, because it would be an absolute pleasure to have you on board, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody in between. But more importantly than likes, subscribes, commentos, and all of that noise, you know what I'm gonna say, is for you all to take care of yourselves, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye!